Testing YouTube sound. And testing Facebook sound. Alrighty, looks like I got 2 o'clock here, so we're going to get started. See, we'll give it maybe just about a few more seconds just to see if we can get a little bit more people to come in. All right, thanks for joining. My name is Kevin Gilmore, National Weather Service New Orleans Baton Rouge office located in Slidell, Louisiana. We're going to go ahead and do a 2 o'clock update on the current status of the severe weather and the rain that's coming in from the northwest. We know that there is some rain coming in already now, passing like Macomb just north of Baton Rouge now. So we will kind of show you what we're thinking now, because we have some new data that's come in-house that we've been looking at. We've been constantly monitoring the latest situation to see if we have maybe any type of evolving threat or changing threat with time, or maybe there's specific areas we're closely monitoring. So we're going to go ahead and go through that right now. First, to show you what's actually going on across the area right now. So first I want to show you a kind of a quick overview of the southeast. This is Louisiana on the bottom left, and you got Mississippi in the middle. And then you got Alabama to the right. So we see that there is a little bit of a broken line of storms coming across, but we have noticed that there's been a little bit stronger storms towards south and middle Mississippi area. So with that, we know that there's actually been some severe thunderstorm warnings, and even going towards Alabama, there's been some strong storms, even one tornado warning earlier around Choctaw County. Just north of Mobile. So we're going to talk about that a little bit specifically, but for our area, the southern part of that line, you see that we're in a part of the line that's co-located with a large area of rain and thunderstorms, which is from what is a strong cold front coming through. That'll be delivering a lot more cold air to the area, which we'll talk about here in just a quick second. So we're going to go ahead and jump back and show you what we got with the latest this is the latest graphic produced at 1:45. To show you what we're currently expecting right now is between 2 and 5 o'clock for the rest of the whole area. They're getting down to New Orleans, probably between maybe towards 3 to 4 o'clock. It could be even going a little bit faster than that. So let me actually real quick, it looks like I jumped over something. I want to go back to the PC monitor. There we go, and show you the current localized radar here. I kind of jumped ahead there for a second, but we'll get into the timing in just a quick moment. Just to show you again where we're at in regards to some of the storms across our area. We see that the area that we cover in southeast Louisiana is an entire picture. It's in the middle of the screen. So we look up to the north, and we see there's some brighter colors there, higher, what we call higher reflectivity values on radar, which is a good indication of heavy rain and thunderstorms most of the time. So right now there are no formal warnings in our area, no formal warnings to our west. That doesn't mean that there won't be any warnings. That could change. Especially with some of the data that we've been seeing, we're getting a really good warm and stable air mass developing out ahead of the line. And it's going to be interesting to see how this cold front reacts to that unstable air mass, because that's usually some of the type of ingredients that we get for some severe weather. But what we're lacking is one specific real good environmental variable is the changing with winds at height, which is wind shear. We're really not getting that much in the way today. You get a little bit more what we call speed shear activity towards our north and east, where there are actually severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. And you see that blue box there, that's a severe thunderstorm watch. That is not in our area. That is, again, north of Mobile. That includes Hattiesburg, around Meridian as well. So severe weather is a little bit of a bigger problem out to our northeast, but not so much for us, but that doesn't mean that might not change. I mean, that we still might actually get some severe weather today. It's just we're going to have to closely monitor it. So let me jump back now and show you again where we're talking about with the timing. Now that you know the current situation across the area, you can apply it to this timing graphic. We're thinking around 2 to 5 for a large part of the area. Getting down to New Orleans again, like I said, between maybe 3 and 4 o'clock at the earliest. We have noticed that the line has has sped up a little bit faster than what we've been thinking. So this graphic was updated to accommodate for that, but be aware, this isn't a hard timeline. You can't say maybe like right at 5 o'clock for New Orleans. You may be more like 4 o'clock. So also, we may be also seeing some cells that develop out ahead of the line earlier than what the time is listed there. So again, this is an evolving situation, and we're going to show you here too, with the severe weather risk threat area, it changes throughout the area. So there's less of a threat for western areas, which include Baton Rouge, but more of a threat for coastal Mississippi. That includes Biloxi and then east of Macomb. That's where that area is associated with the severe weather ongoing towards the northeast. So we're going to have to really focus more on around I-55 and to the east, and that includes Hammond, Slidell, even getting down to New Orleans possibly later today, and across coastal Mississippi too, where we're just going to have to monitor some storms. The main threats today will be damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour, maybe some hail, and maybe even an isolated tornado, although that is a very low threat for this type of an environment. The biggest focus is going to be if there's going to be any what we call a bowing segment along the line, or any type of stronger storm along the line that has the potential to develop damaging strong wind gusts. And even along the line itself, we're seeing some strong winds from the cold front. So if you don't get strong winds from the front, or you don't get a severe storm, it's still going to be a little bit breezy when the front comes through, and it'll be staying that way all the way through tonight and through tomorrow. And that's why we have a wind advisory in effect for today, for later this evening, for a large part of southeast Louisiana and coastal Mississippi. Here's where we're expecting 25 to 35 mile per hour winds right behind the front itself when it comes to, right along or right behind the front when it passes through. But the wind advisory takes into account that this is going to be a longer duration event. So it's not going to be right along the front. It's going to be through the night and even through early tomorrow morning. So kind of impacts and safety we like to push across here is that you want to secure loose items. We were talking about before with the Facebook Live, with the live update. We were saying that with the nice weather, maybe you've moved lawn furniture outside. If you have loose items that have a tendency to blow around, it might be a good idea to bring it in, especially before this line pushes through the southeast. Again, this is in effect through 8 a.m. on Thursday. Now, for marine interest, we also have a gale warning in effect. What we're worried about there, some strong winds over the waters, so we don't have that land interaction, which means that the wind over water has a tendency to be a little bit higher or stronger. And it's specifically going back, let me jump back here to the wind advisory here. We're really concerned also about for south-facing shorelines. And what we mean by that is shorelines with water that's towards your north. And that actually includes the South Shore and New Orleans. You're a good example of that. There's other, since we have such a dynamic coastline, there's so many areas that already have north-facing shorelines. So that includes like Boothville, and getting out across even portions near Lake Bourne. That's where we may have even higher winds. We're saying gusts up to 50 miles per hour, and that's probably going to be the areas where we see probably the higher wind gusts is going to be immediately near that South Shore locations and across the rural areas of St. Bernard and Plaquemines Parish. But generally speaking, 25 to 35 miles per hour with gusts higher than that's a good bet. And for marine areas, we're expecting even elevated seas. So tomorrow, although will be a very nice day full of ample sunshine, very dry and kind of a chilly day too, it'll be feeling even chillier with that wind. Be careful if you have any marine interest or you plan to do boating, as there will be some increased waves and seas. Here's some of the peak wind gusts that we're talking about. You see what we're talking about there, 30 to 35 for New Orleans. That's that enhancement off the lake. As it crosses the lake, winds pick up in speed, and then when it hits the shoreline like that, you see higher winds. Less for areas that are more landlocked. So you get the Covington, Baton Rouge, and Macomb. In those areas, 20 to 25. A little bit less winds there, but still relatively gusty when the front passes. And just mentioned before about Boothville, 40 to 45 getting down towards Plaquemines. That's because you're just surrounded by so much water, and it'll be a little bit higher winds there. So have multiple ways to get warnings. We always say that all the time. Should warnings become required later today, we can't rule out with this environment maybe 1 or 2 warnings. Really, again, the threat's going to be more confined towards that slight risk area that we just talked about before, east of I-55. So there you have a better chance of seeing a warning. So here's all the different ways you can receive a warning through the internet. Local TV broadcast meteorologists will let you know as well. And we tell you this too, is spread the word. If you have family or friends that are out and about shopping today or going to get something done, just drop them a text or call them. Let them know and say, hey, there's maybe some strong storms. Just be weather aware today is what we're trying to say with this type of an environment. And then when the system gets out of here, boy, does it get out of here fast. Thursday, when you see we got breezy conditions, see that's New Orleans to the top left, Gulfport to the bottom right. But look at those highs. We're talking about highs only topping out in the lower 60s. That's very chilly around here for this area. That's around 10 to 15 degrees below average. Some moderation as we get towards the weekend, but if you got weekend plans, that doesn't really get much better than that. We got highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s. A little bit chilly in the mornings, Thursday morning, especially Friday morning and maybe even Saturday morning. Friday morning being probably one of the chilliest mornings will be highs, even some locations getting into the mid-30s, maybe even colder than that in some traditionally colder locations come Friday mornings. So definitely one of these days, those type of days where you're going to have a jacket in the morning, maybe getting a little bit warmer in the afternoon come Saturday through the weekend. So I wanted to jump back again and show you the radar real quick to show you kind of a wrap up of what we're talking about. We're seeing some observations come in there. I just see New Roads came in around a gust of 31 miles per hour. So there is a little bit of some good wind with this line of rain, and storms. So even though there is no formal warning along the line yet or within our area, you can still see some gusty winds along the line. The front itself will produce gusty winds, and be aware that this will continue to sag south and east through the rest of the afternoon, and we'll see how it responds to this unstable air mass out ahead of it. But again, we'll keep you updated with that, especially if there's any changes or any updates. We'll be the first here to let you know. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We'll give you a heads up there. But just be aware, chance of rain's high today. We'll get some rain and storms across the area, but it won't last long, and then we'll have a very nice Thursday through the upcoming weekend. Very nice few days ahead. So let's just get through this, and we'll enjoy that right around the corner. So we'll end it there. If we do another update, we'll definitely let you know, and we'll continue to update you on social media as well. So we'll end it there. Thanks for joining, and have a great day.